Well, happy Monday, everybody, and happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all of you veterans out there watching. Um, so, there has been a lot of talk about since the uh, election has been over, right? Trump being reelected. Uh, Everybody kind of predicting, whether the freight recession is truly over or not, right? But according to FreightWave CEO Craig Fuller, yes, it's official. The great freight recession has ended. Okay. The call sparked both excitement and skepticism across the freight industry. Uh, Fuller's reasoning is data backed signs of recovery from his company's proprietary sources, a rise in tender rejections, climbing spot rates, and tightening capacity. Uh, However, with one particular supply chain expert urging the industry to stay realistic, essentially the debate continues. Okay. Um, Fuller went on to point out some pretty solid metrics as the basis for his claim. One being tender rejections are up. Carriers are rejecting over 6% of tenders compared to last year's low of 3.4%, signaling tighter capacity and giving carriers more control. All right. Number two was spot rates rising. Spot rates have climbed to $1.78 per mile, up from $1.54 last year. A clear sign demand is bouncing back, or at least the available capacity is shrinking. Now, that is something I will confirm that I have seen on some of the lanes that I run. There's been some fluctuation, but for the most part, it has started to kind of show a bit of a gradual increase. Okay. And last but not least, he mentions regulatory impact. The upcoming FMCSA's clearinghouse 2 regulations could push up to 177,000 drivers out of the market, further tightening capacity and potentially increasing rates. Fuller believes carrier revenge is on the horizon, right? Carrier revenge. With carriers finally able to push for better rates after a long, brutal stretch. He predicts this shift, combined with Trump's pro-freight policies, could make 2025 a year to remember. While some celebrate Fuller's upbeat outlook, others in the industry aren't so quick to pop the champagne, right? Let's not celebrate too early. In my humble opinion, for anybody that values it, wants to know, I don't know that it's going to be a sudden jerk in rates next year. I do think that we will see an increase in rates, but it won't be like an overnight type of a thing. I think that it will be a steady increase across the market. So I guess take that for what it's worth. I don't believe in the sudden, uptick, rates going up from $1.78 to $2.75 a mile or something. You know what I mean? Like it's probably not going to happen. You might see it on a few lanes, maybe temporarily, depending upon demand and things like that. But honestly, I don't believe that we're going to see a huge uptick overall. The social media takes on all of this is responses on social media range from optimism to outright skepticism. One user commented, "I think this is a very preemptive celebration. We'll see in time." Another noted that consumers hitting credit limits could dampen demand, making the end of the recession feel artificial if driven by tightening supply rather than real growth, right? So I think that, depending upon whether Trump imposes those tariffs and to the extent, to the percentages that he's talking about, I think that it might slow, it more than likely will slow consumer demand, which inevitably will affect us, right? So again, I think I agree with some people. Like, let's not pop the champagne cork too early, right? Jason Miller's reality check, supply chain professor Jason Miller weighed in, encouraging the industry to temper its excitement. Credit card delinquency rates are still rising. Housing affordability is terrible. And hiring rates have fallen to 2014 levels. For Miller, while 2025 could be a good year for carriers, structural concerns in the economy remain, and rising costs from potential tariffs and inflation could complicate a true recovery, right? Like I mentioned just a moment ago. Um, with Fuller's data painting an optimistic picture and economic indicators flashing caution, the freight industry finds itself a bit divided. Whether it's a genuine recovery or a temporary break from the downturn, basically, we just kind of have to watch and see, right? If these potential good times are going to hold, or if the freight roller coaster, has more twists and turns for us ahead. So again, I think overall, I don't think that it'll be temporary. I just don't think that we'll see the sudden increase like some want. I think I agree. It's a little premature to celebrate right now. I think for anybody, especially anybody new jumping into the industry, there is hope on the horizon. I think that we'll see steady growth, but it won't be overly significant, right? This is something that's going to take a year, maybe even up to a year and a half before we see a full recovery. There's a lot of different factors that could cause hiccups in all of this. So, it's good to be mindful of all of that and just sort of, pay attention. I wish I had a crystal ball to tell you exactly when all of that could happen, but unfortunately I don't. We can just, again, like they're doing, kind of looking at the data and making an educated guess, I guess, more or less. So, I do, like I said, I think good times are coming, but let's be careful with how good they're going to get. Okay. Again, thank you to all you veterans out there. I hope everybody's having a great day, whether you're off today or you're working. Have a great day. Have a great week. And we will see you back here again next time. Bye-bye.